You're watching CTV News Channel. I'm Roger Peterson. Thank you very much for joining us. A live look now at Russian President Vladimir Putin. U.S. President Donald Trump is in the air on his way to this high-stakes summit with the Russian president. The eyes of the world will be on the two leaders as they meet face-to-face to discuss ending the war in Ukraine.
But I'm not here to negotiate for Ukraine. I'm here to get them at a table, and I think you have two sides. Look, Vladimir Putin wanted to take all of Ukraine. If I wasn't president, he would right now be taking all of Ukraine, but he's not going to do it.
Trump left a short message on Truth Social to express the gravity of the situation. And CTV's Michael Couteur is standing by live in Anchorage, Alaska, ahead of the summit. And Mike, thanks for joining us. What more are we learning about today's meeting and how will it unfold?
Yeah, we know how it will unfold in the schedule, essentially. We know there will be a one-on-one between Trump and Putin. That is how this day will begin, with their interpreters only. Then there'll be a more expanded bilateral meeting with officials from representatives of both countries. We also understand that there will be a working breakfast involved in this. And then this is a key part. If it goes well, there should be a joint press conference with Russian President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Donald Trump. The last time that happened was in Helsinki, and it's unclear whether or not it will happen again. Trump has already said there's a 25% chance that this meeting will not go well. And if it doesn't, they're saying it will be Trump alone giving that press conference. He will not be joined by Vladimir Putin. And we understand that the Russian side is looking to leave right away. But we know that Trump has already said that he is hoping for a second meeting if this first meeting goes very well, one with Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, and he wants one very quickly. How quickly? Unclear. He says at one point yesterday, he said, maybe we just stay in Alaska because that would probably be the most convenient thing. That is unlikely, Roger, considering all the logistics that have to go into something like this. But certainly President Trump believing that something can come of this. That is what he told reporters on Air Force One as he's on his way over here.
And, of course, also posting this morning about the high stakes. We saw it on Truth Social for this meeting. Now, what is at stake for both Trump and Putin?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, for Putin, a lot of observers have said this is already a win. People have to remember, Alaska used to be part of the Russian Empire. That was until 1867 when it was sold to the U.S. for $7.2 million. And that is something that a lot of Russian observers look at this and say, look, this is still part of Russia, Alaska is. And they sort of see this as almost a homecoming for Vladimir Putin. So it's a win that he's getting this, this meeting to begin with Trump. For Trump, he says, look, everything is on the table in terms of what can happen here, but he wants to make sure that everybody understands that it is Putin that has to move, and saying in that conversation with reporters on Air Force One that it's Ukraine that has to decide on whether or not their borders will be changing. We've also heard that Trump earlier this week talking about some sort of a land swap that Ukraine may have to agree to, but he also said, look, if this doesn't go well, there will be severe consequences for Vladimir Putin in Russia. What they will be, he would not specify just yet, Roger.
And, of course, the one person who won't be there, you mentioned him, is Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. What's he saying right now?
Yeah, right now he continues to sort of do the rounds with European leaders. Yesterday he was in London with Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, trying to continue to make sure that he is setting those parameters for what happens. He wants a ceasefire to come out of this. That is something that I think is reasonable in his mind for what he wants as an ultimate outcome of this meeting. But certainly saying that, look, the borders of Ukraine cannot be changed by anybody but Ukrainians alone, and he wants a full withdrawal of Russian troops at this point. Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, has already said, look, it's clear what they want, and that is not it. So it will be very pivotal, as Trump had said in his posts on Truth Social. High stakes today here in Anchorage.
All right, indeed, Mike. Thank you for that. An incredible day ahead for you. Thanks for joining us with that update.